right? Ladies and gentlemen, I have a guy here, a popular guy, especially when you talk about Flemingdon and stuff. So in most of these projects we're doing, we like different flavors because as a community, we have different people who articulate things differently. There's a gentleman that I consider him roots. So I think he will be getting a very rootsy rendition here of the history of Toronto Caribbean soccer. So I'll ask the gentleman to introduce himself and give me a background and from where you came.
Yeah, well, my name is Noble Obi. Obrien, they call me Obi. I from behind the bridge. I grew up in Rose Hill. Rose Hill is the ending, the starting of Lavanti. It's Piccadilly Street, Prince Street area, the starting of Lavanti. Some of the notable Rose Hill men is like Bonnie Jupiter, Roland Braffett, and I'm gonna call others. You know, it had Neville Jules was also living opposite me, Rose Hill, the Fisheye brothers, as usual. My first school that I went to, which was very incorporated with soccer, was Richmond Street Boys EC. I met Gali there. Actually, they was the best team in elementary school. We had Piggott, we had Gali, we had Selvis Figaro, we had they beat everybody in primary school. Like it had Eastern boys, Western boys, Moulton Hall, Woodbrook. It had a lot of schools, but Richmond Street was the top. So I grew up from age 6 till 12 in good football, seeing good football, the top class. Richmond Street was the best. From Richmond Street, I moved and I went, from Lavanti, I went down to Diego Martin for a couple of years. I played with a team down there called Dundee United. I last down there a couple of years and then I moved back up to Dundonald Street, Fitzgerald Lane. There is where I meet the mecca of soccer because Dundonald Street was a street with plenty soccer players like Saldina, Clyde Blundell. That's where Glory Guys was formed. Clyde Blundell was the brother of Keith and Kenny Douglas from South. So we had a good core down there. He's one of the guys take me under his wings. Plus we had Sally and the Glory Guys team, Gali. We had Matti, we had Norris, Wayne Lewis. We had Kester Nanku, Kelvin Nanku, Keith Nanku. We had Baby, Tomasas. It was a very strong team. That is where I started with Glory Guys. We had, I'd call a few more. We had a lot of great players with Glory Guys. Glory Guys was one of the top teams in the Movina League. Movina League was like as big as Port of Spain Football League. They had big teams like Falcons, like professional. Falcons was Gregory Chilio and Lloyd Norman and them boys. And they had professionals with Saki and them boys. They had Plan Rangers with Tishera and these guys. So from a young guy, I played with very good players. I should have been a better player playing in Canada, but maybe my head was hard or I didn't play hard enough. You know, but I should have been a better player. But my playing days.
Question, you played with the Glory Guys?
Yes.
So any accomplishment of Glory Guys? You had any?
We won a lot of championship in the Movina League.
Okay.
Most of the guys in Glory Guys, like Gali used to play Paragon, Sally used to play with Malvern, different teams. Clyde used to was the Malvern guy. Keston, as Gally went tranquil and then Fatima draft him in. Keston went Woodbrook and CIC bring in Keston. So most of the Street guys were very good. Glory guys won a lot of championships in the Movina League.
But, so you're so embedded in the ball there, what was the vision to come to Canada, how that came about, and what year you came to Canada?
Well, before I reached there, I must tell you about Peterborough. I played juvenile with Peterborough. And that was the time when Tranquil was incorporated with Providence. Right? So that was my main, like Peterborough was a big time team. Peterborough was from, I don't know if you hear about Under the Cannonball Tree.
Yes, like the tree in Savannah.
Right. They used to play second division, but they incorporate a juvenile team and it was a big time juvenile. Peter Alyoung used to run the Peterborough organization, and Peter Alyoung used to also run Starlift. So he bring up a lot of guys from Woodbrook, you know, Pat Chatty, Trevor, Norman, bring up a lot of guys. So we had a powerful team.
Yeah, Peterborough was a running team. I remember Peterborough was a running team.
Right. Now, in the juvenile time now, as Tranquil got kicked out when they had a little fight in QRC, Warner bring in Tranquil to play for Providence. So actually Tranquil beat out Peterborough in the semi-finals of the first year. But Peterborough had a really good team. Tranquil beat out, and Tranquil went on to the final, which is Providence went on to the final. I think they won it against Malvern. Malvern also had a star-studded team also. But that was one of the best competitions, the Juvenile League.
Yes.
I enjoyed the Juvenile League. Now, I came up to Canada in 74. When I first came up here, I met a couple of the guys who from Glory Guy Lands, Greenwich, and he pulled me into Unity. That was 74, 75. And then Johnny Hislop came up right after. So I told him, well, all your boys is in Irie, but we need help in Unity. So Johnny was reluctant to come in.
So you're the reason why, I didn't understand how Johnny didn't come in Irie. Yeah, okay.
I was the reason why Johnny didn't come in Irie. He came over in Unity, you know. Well, after that happened, that year was, although I was playing with Unity, Bunny and Ataketo decided to form the Street Guy Soccer League. So Andrew Perry called me to start this team named Tempo United. So I ended up being captain on Tempo United, but we only last 1 year because we won, I think, 1 game out of 8. I think that was Grassheads we beat. There was another, my team was a kind of party team. We had Andrew, we had Broomy, we had a Boy, a real party team. So it wasn't as serious that year. The first year, Street Guys Soccer League wasn't as serious. So because guys coming late, guys playing in sneakers, all this kind of thing. So it wasn't as serious. But I can tell you that year, players had a good team, but it still wasn't as serious. So that first year now, I went to Bunny Jupiter, I ran with Jupiter and tell him, look, we have 3 grounds up in Flemingdon Park. Why we don't move the league up there? So he came up and watched the grounds and so he decided to move the league up there. So the second year was a little more serious. After the second year, I left Tempo Breaker because it was a kind of jokey team with man playing sneakers, man.
You sure them fellas would vouch for you, they say it was a jokey team?
We used to get 5 and 4 and thing, a lot of licks, and man coming late. We used to start with 8 men, 9 men, 10. We always short, you know, so it's a kind of kicks team. So anyway, Bunny, the second year I went over to players, your team. Bunny pulled me over because he realized I still could have played. I was 25, still could have played. So I went over and joined players. But when I reached players now, I couldn't make the team. It was hard because in my position, I played right back. I had Foxy, I had Ricky playing that position. So I used to only get half a game, quarter game. They used to show me in left back. It was hard to make the team. So anyway, I stayed with players, your team for a couple of years. That was your team, 2-3 years. I think I stayed with them. We win a couple championship. But after that, I went over to Colts because I call you and tell you.
So I might assume now the Colts move was to get playing time, or what's the story
Remember,
with the Colts
I
move?
call you and tell you I wasn't getting enough playing time with players. So I went over to Colts.
Well, I'm kind of glad that you're putting that for the record, because so many times it's misconstrued that you had a problem with midget, and we stay tight right through. It's important that we clear that.
It was better over there. I was getting more playing time. Matter of fact, we won a championship or two with Colts. But I was more helpful with Colts. I was like a player manager. The man used to pick up the money, buy the jersey, wash the jersey. So I was more useful with Colts.
Yeah, and that type of role is needed, though. That's a very important role.
Right, that was a very important role. So I was more useful with Colts. Plus, we had a good team, a very good team with Colts there. We won one or two championship. Winty ended up coming and take over. We had Barry, we had Muggs controlling. We had very good teams. Robbie, I think I sent you a picture of the team there.
Yes.
We had a lot of good players. And Robin used to control it, but I kind of take over the control. As a matter of fact, Mark Nowalo came and joined Colts also. So we had a pretty good team. He was in one of the winning teams.
Yeah, that's 1980, 81.
81, right. You see, that was that is true, 75 and yeah, around that. Right. Yeah. Mark came in with Colts. So we had a good team that year. But what I was happy for, being more useful, helping the team with everything.
I think you were useful for the league too, because I think you were opening nets and stuff, because you live in the proximity. You're the real, ladies and gentlemen, he's the real Flemingdon guy. He lives in the proximity of the field, and he really used to help just about everything with the field. This is a gentleman who really had the Flemingdon League at heart.
Right, they used to call me the heartbeat. Keto called me the heartbeat, Selvin Cowie, because I was the man waking up to go and put up the nets.
I ask you, seeing that we hit the Flemo thing now, before I ask you the flavor of the league, you mentioned winning the Contrast Cup with Unity.
That was the same year. We had a very powerful team. I could name some of the guys we had on that team. We had Lance Greenwich, we had Desmond. You remember Desmond? Desmond from Dominica?
Yeah.
Alan Calendar. We had Errol Katos. We had Moxie was the left back. Moxie came over from West Indies United.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we had that we beat Rio Real. We had Johnny Islop. We had Boy. Boy was a mainstay in the Unity team also. We had me. We had quite a few guys. We had a goalie named Jonesy that year. We had Johnny. You know the other Johnny who died.
Gomez.
Gomez. Yeah, we had Johnny Gomez. So that was a powerful team. But the thing about that game.
Are you talking about what, the Contrast final though?
Contrast final, yeah.
Okay.
Irie lost to Rio Real, which was the star-studded team. Right? I think Loney went over to Rio Real. I think Winty was there also. Plus, they had some semi-pro guys. So on the day down in University of Toronto, but we didn't disappoint. We won that game, I think 3-1. With Desmond scoring a couple goals. Desmond and Alan Calendar was the hot man. Yeah.
How long did you play with Unity? And the reason why I'm asking you that now is to find out if you either played in the Irie tournament or in the
Right.
TND with Unity?
So I was, it was better for me. So after 2-3 years with Unity, I came over to Irie. You see, but as I tell you, I should have been a better player with the experience I had home playing with Gally and Baby and all the Buggy Haynes. I used to go and practice with all the best guys.
Yeah.
But maybe in my head was too hard, or I didn't used to play hard enough.
Yeah. So, okay. Seeing that you do the TND thing and you move over to Irie, now it's coming back to me. So now, how would you balance TND and Flemingdon in terms of the whole community involvement? Before I go to that, you're aware of the Malvern League?
Yes. I never played in it, but I backed Everton in the Malvern League. The Irie tournament, I was more like a helper. I never played in Irie. I used to help Irie do things, stay by the gate, do this, do that. I used to have my little hustle going too. I used to take care of the big guys, Mangi, Molino, Keith Hislop, the guys were announcing the scores upstairs. I used to, as a kind of help for the Irie tournament. Well,
Okay.
the reason why I never made the Irie tournament is because of playing time again. I figured I might have made the team, but I only get 15, 20 minutes. That is why I'm telling you now, the playing time was important to me. I was doing something more useful.
Correct.
So, you see, so I didn't practice to make the team. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was at every tournament. I was at every soccer tournament with Irie Cho because I used to help out Mangi and the guys do little things, you know, with the whatever they had to do, with the helping people, helping the teams, organizing the teams, put them in this area, you know, that because the front areas. But I never played.
So question now, when you were with Colts, seeing
Yeah,
that Colts, I know you fully established with Colts. And
yeah,
you came off of the Unity, which I didn't know. I
yeah.
didn't really remember the Unity. There's another situation now where you play TND. Now I don't know how long you played TND, and the reason why I'm asking that now is because I know everybody relocated to Malvern, right? So
Right.
I think by Malvern you weren't really playing, but I want to know how your TND, how did that TND unfold? Did you
Right.
play to the end of Unity?
I played 2-3 years in TND with Unity, and then I left. I left Unity. The Irie guys draft me over. A matter of fact, where I used to live in Flemingdon Park, we had like 10 Irie men living in the same building. Flashes, we had Martin, which was the coach living there. We had the 4 Devonish brothers, Tony, Monty, Diamond. We had all this there. We had like 8 or 10 Irie men. So it was better for me to join Irie. It was more
Family is like a family.
Yes. So but the thing is, the first team was hard to make. So, but I was fortunate that I really had a second team. So I used to play on the second team. Obrien was in that building also.
That's right.
So,
So now, how would you balance TND and Flemingdon in terms of the whole community vision?
Flemingdon was the best league in town.
Seeing that you saw the Malvern League, you said you never played there. You've been in TND for a few years. How would you articulate this Flemingdon experience?
Flemingdon experience was great. It was the best multicultural league we had in Toronto from 75. It's from Street Guys Soccer League. They changed it to Toronto Caribbean Soccer League. So that was the best experience anybody could have, any team. As a matter of fact, people had other teams and they would just want to come down there to play because of the spectator. Certain Sundays we would have 2,000-3,000 people, you see, and it was more of a family oriented. Everybody bring their wife, the kids. It was family oriented. So it was the best league really to talk about. And but it was such a great league with the family oriented. Everybody bring their kids, and so it was actually the best league in town at the time. Even playing in Irie and unit the TND, it wasn't a lot of guys went play with Sir Lazio, all this thing. It wasn't as great as that. That was more like a family league. So it was more encouraging to be there. Guys used to put off different things just to come there, different settings to come there because it was so encouraging that it was the best.
Yeah.
You know?
Now we're trying to tie in, I don't know how much you could contribute to this before we wrap up. We're trying to tie in the music now, and because everything went hand in hand. I have you as a person in between the two. You are catering for entertainment on the park, right? So you have any input in terms of the park associated with certain entertainment, certain places, whether it be 1348 or whatever, because remember, we came very close from 1348 in the first year with Oakwood.
Well, actually, Desmond Marcel was my man. Remember, he used to live, he had his kids from Rose Hill. His girl used to live Rose Hill. He had 2 kids up there. So I know Desmond. So from the first week I came in, Andrew turned me on to Desmond. Desmond and Ghetto was the man in 1348. Ghetto knew me from since he was going tranquil. He used to come around my yali and listen to the records. As a matter of fact, we threw a party in Venezuela and guest house with Seppi one time. And he was still going tranquil. Ghetto always liked records. And Ghetto and Desmond merged together, Ghetto Soul. So he was always the best. As a matter of fact, the first time I saw you is in 1348, and I asked you, what are you doing here? Remember? Because I remember you get drafted with Sammy to come and play for the national team.
Yeah.
But Sammy make the team, and then I didn't hear about you again. So when I saw you in 1348, I said, but what are you doing here? You say, well, you tell me you come up a year now or something.
Yeah.
I said, well, you should have been still down there to make the team because Sammy make the team.
What will be? You remember it?
I remember the first place I met you is 1348. And I was getting you that conversation. I said, but you was playing Wicked and Colts. Sammy used to, I saw you, I said, but what are you doing here? You tell me you come up a year and a half or something. And I said, boy, you're cheese and you should have been down home to make that team with Sammy.
You hit me a surprise there now, boy.
But that is, as you bring 1348, you bring Desmond in the picture. Desmond was my boy.
Yeah.
He's the man kind of helped me get in, not on electric, not on telecom. You understand?
Yeah, I remember you working with
Right. And the reason I worked with telecom for 10 years, not on electric, then went not on telecom. So the reason when I get laid off at Northern Telecom, you remember you get laid off and you get in Bell.
Yeah.
I tried to get in Bell also, but I didn't. So, but I got in Litton's system. So when I got in Litton's after about a year or so, Northern called me back. I said, well, I not going because Northern had me in Peterborough, Thunder Bay, Fort Francis, Sanya, all this over there, all the place. So I said, well, look, I'm not going back.
I surprised me with this national thing, boy, because I didn't know anybody up here. I might see me tight with Gali and them because they know me through national because I went training with him. But I didn't come up here to flaunt that. I come up here and live a different life.
I was always
you mentioned that.
In Trinidad, I was always into the ball. I was close to Eric James. Eric James' office was Gordon Street and Abercrombie Street. And I used to go and drop things for him from the grocery and thing because I used to do a little grocery down there, a little hustling. So I would get close to Eric James. So I used to know all what going on in the football world down there. So this is how I remember with you and Sammy. And I read it on the papers too. You see? So with Eric James now, I was even a ball boy because when let's say the North team going in the over, I just used to walk across 2 blocks, jump in the van or jump in the bus and get in the oval free.
So that's why I love this way of doing it. I know I can do the publication, but I find these interviews just hearing people's story and stuff, I find is very nice, and it's kind of fulfilling for me because I like the people thing, you know. And Obi, it's so nice. I mean, everybody gonna be happy to hear from you because
Well, I the
you was the
heartbeat.
regular on the park.
They call me the heartbeat. That was the name get to and Selwyn Cowie and all them boys give me this. Selwyn is still call me that, the heartbeat.
Yeah, thank you for giving me all the information, Obi. It was nice talking to you, and you take care. Stay safe.
Yeah, man. Thank you. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.